Forget Ya.
Stop it.
She called it Forget Ya once, Hannah, and I will never let her live it down.
I
Forget
have
about it.
almost called it Forget Ya a couple more times since then.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know why. That's where my brain goes. Like,
Well,
that's what I
he
feel
was
like.
saying.
Yeah, he can't forget her.
Yeah, so you gotta forget ya.
You gotta forget ya.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that song, Delete Ya. And we're going to talk about another song, too.
Another song, a surprise song, but we have a special guest, Hannah Sarah. How you doing, darling?
Oh, living the dream. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My brain is literally like, forget ya. After having
Yeah.
a puppy, gone.
Regular mom, now you're a dog
yeah.
mom, trying
Literally.
to keep up with everything.
I literally said, I'd rather have another baby than do this because
He's really
is that?
cute, though.
he's cute. Very cute. Coco, Stevie, Loki,
Yep.
20 names. It's fine.
I told
Lots of
Quinny he has a new
names.
boyfriend. I said, look at that.
Look at
Yeah.
this guy.
Look at that guy.
Leia had a lot of names, too, when I first named her, and then I kind of forgot about all the other ones. Because I think was her name Sky? Like, before I
Love
got
renaming
her.
a dog.
Before I got her, I think they were going to call her Sky. And I was like, oh, like Skywalker.
You're such a fucking nerd. That's the title of the episode.
You're such a fucking nerd.
Ooh, I say that with love.
Yeah, look who's talking. Come on.
Damn.
With tattoos all over and the
Yeah.
other
No,
person
not
who's
I.
in it like the movie.
Yeah, I'm not I getting hand tats of movies I didn't like and naming my dog Quinn. Like, how dare you?
Are you going to a listening party, Hannah Sarah?
Yes, I'm super excited. Boise is having one and one in Nampa, but I said this the other day on my stories. I'm like, listen, if Joe wants to attend a listening party, he has a friend in Boise.
There
so
you go.
if you're going to
He
show
did
up
tell
to
you
a
that.
record store, it'll be Boise. So I'm driving all the way over to Boise to go to it.
You gotta
There you go.
manifest it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What song do you guys think you'll be most excited to hear that we haven't heard yet?
I'm gonna butcher the title, but Golden Line?
Yeah.
Golden
Yeah.
I'm
Line.
very excited for that one.
I'm excited for Charlie's Garden and Fly and the studio version of Gaptooth Smile
Oh,
because
girl.
I can't wait to see what it sounds like.
I can't wait to count.
Yeah.
Right?
Someone get a tattoo of that. Just
All those
All the
29s.
29 and 29.
I'm on it.
Yes.
Face tats.
On your
Yeah.
back.
To get
Yeah.
him to write it.
Rip
Yep.
tattoo. Kind of cool. Yeah.
I'm like, this might take a while, Joe, but can you write out up until 29? And he's like, get out of my face.
Yes. My gosh.
Yeah, I think that should be good. I mean, I know, like, for copyright issues and stuff, I don't know if we're ever going to get an actual legit streamed version of his cover of Gasoline, but there are different versions available online, and, I'm being a little selfish. I kind of hope we hear that, but as for the album, I know they made an announcement just today that there was, like, such a massive, quantity of, like, orders that the vinyls are going to arrive on time in April, but I guess the CDs and the cassettes are going to be late May. And they were like, we'll give you the choice if you want to just get your order all at once in late May. And I'm like, no, I want my vinyl like ASAP. But I'm really excited to get all of that. That'll be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that they just re-released the Black 2020.
Yes, 2020.
I'm like so tempted to buy it. I've been
Do
listening
it.
to a whole bunch of like old podcast episodes that I found on Spotify from like 2019, 2020 when he was talking about that album.
Yeah.
And I literally today was listening to him. They were talking about album variants. I need to send you this podcast, Stacey.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's like, oh, I think I prefer the black one because it looks like an old school record that like you would find like your dad would have. Like all of the new ones are cool, but like all of the different colors, but they they don't have that authentic like vibe.
I sold my soul and Quinn's soul to get that Red Galaxy variant. Like ungodly things I need to get that variant. So that's cool, Joe.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I
he
hope
was
we
like,
get
oh,
something.
I think the red one's cool, but like I prefer the black one.
Do you? I love all the cool ones. I have the green one.
The green one's nice. There's the Urban Outfitters one, which is really cute. It's green and orange.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing like mixed things because I don't think anybody actually knows. Some people have said he's not going to do the variants. It's just going to be straight black. That's it for the crux.
I
Then
want
other
him
people
to.
are like, he might do it because he's heavily involved in the process.
You've got
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah,
You gotta
that'll
do
be
it.
fun.
Yeah.
I want one with all mice on it.
Keys. Keys. Something
Keys.
cute.
Mice and
That'd be so
keys.
good.
That
Oh my
would be
gosh.
Yeah, really fun.
Manifest
Love
it.
it.
Boom.
Let's start listening to this song because we've been so excited to talk about Delete Ya.
Yeah.
Ever since it came out. So we saved it for you. What were your like initial thoughts when you first heard this song?
I was like gutted. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I want to hug him. I've been in this position. How did you get my diary too? Like,
Yeah.
it was so real and raw. I was like, absolutely can connect with these songs. And that's what he said before. Like, he wants people to connect to it. And I feel like this song absolutely hit that mark for me. And I was like, but I was jamming. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I
It's got a great
I
beat.
feel what you're telling me
Yeah.
in like a sad, groovy way.
Yeah. Like you
Yeah.
immediately wanted to sing along. Like I think my initial first listen, I was already singing along to like
Oh, yeah.
the Delete Ya part.
Yep.
Like it's so good.
Yeah.
You know what's a great hook? That now I'm back on your couch, frozen peas to my head, which I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Did you have a headache? What happened, honey?
Yeah.
But
Did
that's
you like
just such a great
hit
hook.
your head?
I know. And like the peas part, I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's done those little clues. And like, if you've been around since he's had his Instagram and we've seen him eating snap peas, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. They
It's
must
just like-
they must have kept those peas in their freezer all the time. Like
That's probably one of my favorite lives of him. Just him not reading any of the comments, not saying anything, and then him realizing and going, "Oh,
He's like,
sorry, guys." So this is like kind of known as the sister song
Yes.
to Basic Being Basic, and kind of what I feel like we get the vibe when he's like, red eye, and he's flying back to LA, kind
Yeah.
of seeing his old apartment, and remember the Bare Naked Lady song, Old Apartment.
no.
Damn. Okay. Well, I just dated myself. What's him? It's basically like,
I'm older than you.
girl, you were not a fan of the Bare Naked Ladies. They made two good songs. That was it.
Yeah.
But literally, Old Apartment is them being like, this is where we used to live, and it's them reflecting on the good times and then how it kind of turned bad. So I always think songs like that. Like, I'm gonna give another deep cut reference. I always think of the movie Beaches with Bette Midler when she's with John Hurd and she's begging him. She's going, please, please don't leave me. And he goes, I think we got to go our separate ways before we get bad. I don't want that to happen, And we've all been there before where a relationship or a friendship has ended and you're looking back and you remember the good times, but kind of the bad times are clouding it, but you can't stop thinking about that person and the good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good because that's exactly, I feel like, what this song is. Like, the Basic Being Basic is like just,
Yeah,
You're
Alanis
basic,
Morissette,
like-
like bitchy.
yes, fuck you. But like, this one is like, oh, I'm like a little hurt also. And I'm a little sad. Like, that's the two sides of like a breakup or a heartbreak is like, you're angry, but you're also sad. Like,
Yeah. That's kind of like what I felt of this song. It's nostalgic, it's longing, and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, that first line, it hooks you. And I wrote just the no longer my home bit. It's really like detachment, physically and emotionally. Like, this is a place where I used to live. We used to have memories together. And now I'm like, oh, I want to get out of here so fast. Like every
Mhm.
little piece is reminding him of her.
Yeah.
Because doesn't it say like a lyric kind of
Yes.
He
Yes.
said in an interview, he's like either a scent, because they always say like scent brings back the strongest memories. They,
Yes.
either a scent or a song lyric or a particular place will bring you back to a certain memory, and either it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. And I know we've all been there, that either a friend or somebody you were in a relationship with and you guys parted ways either on good terms or bad, you're going to have that temptation to look them up. Either to see how they're doing, and you're thinking to yourself, what am I doing? this is causing more pain and anxiety, but you can't help it because with social media, it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
I liked the part about like driving up to your folks. Like that was tough too, because when you're in a long-term relationship, like you said about the apartment and the city being your home, but also like that person's family becomes your family too. So
Mhm.
you're not just losing that person, you're losing like a whole community of people sometimes. So it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
that's an even more difficult part about
It's like
a
haunting.
relationship ending.
It's like,
yeah.
ooh. Yeah. Like, no
Um,
thanks.
There was
0 out of 0, would not recommend.
no.
No.
I don't like the word excrete. So
Oh, yes.
yeah.
that
Write that down.
line is like a heart excretes only one of us. Like
Yeah, like it's very poetic.
Mm.
Yeah, I wrote poetic. Like only one person remains in their heart. And I feel like that's him. Like he's the only one that probably has that space.
yeah.
It's like in Sex and the City when they're like, oh, you only are allowed 2 great loves in your life, and right away you start thinking and you're like, did I already have them? Did I already spend them? Like, damn, like it cuts deep. It does.
Yeah.
Look at me referencing beaches, Sex and the
I
City, and Bare
know.
Naked Ladies.
The references are hitting.
Woo! Good job,
Um,
Joe.
Yeah.
The like actual music is so fun too. Like I feel like
Yeah.
luckily we've gotten to hear him talk a decent amount about this, like
Yeah.
with all of the press that's kind of like going with the release. And I'm glad that this one was a single, because I feel
Yeah.
like I'm excited for us to be able to talk about the rest of the album too, because we're not going to get as detailed of interviews as he's been doing for these 2 singles
It's
about
true,
every single song on the album.
Yeah.
So like it's cool to have gotten these as singles and to really like delve into them and hear him talk about them. But I think he what did he say like some of his influences were with like the guitars and stuff? It
He
sounds
said,
like
I know he referenced Daft Punk, which right away I went, oh my God, like I haven't heard about them in a while. And they were genius artists. Basically, they had been around since the 90s. They never showed their faces. So kind of going back to his disguise. And people always say they were able to retire on their terms and nobody ever knew who they were. So they got the fame, but not the bad side of it. But his sound is very similar to that. And I know he's referenced Supertramp before, which is really, really cool. Does anybody remember anything else that he said?
I want to say like the Police or like
I see that. Absolutely.
See that.
Synchronicity, that entire album, that sounds very much like Joe.
Yeah.
yeah. Let's listen to the rest because I love this song. Oh,
That was a kick in the non-existent
Got it.
dick.
Got Ted. Like he's paying for my therapy.
Yeah, like, by the way, it's Daft Punk. Thank you, Megan. We stopped recording and she was like, doll, you're mispronouncing something again. But yeah, do you know what kind of gave me vibes of? Have you guys ever heard the song Jealous Guy by John Lennon?
I don't think I have.
I've heard that one.
If you listen to it later, it's got kind of it's much slower, but it's kind of got the same hook as this song does. But man, I have to say the part where he's like, we're sitting on the floor, like up against the wall, like
Nothing more
know,
to be said.
Like, we're just gonna sit here in silence and just
and you can almost like imagine it, just a cleared out apartment and 2 people are going their separate ways, and you kind of reach a point where there is nothing left to be said, like
We can't
That
fix
part
this. Like,
hurts. Yeah.
the whole I'm locked, she's the key, I'm a boat, guess who, like,
That's sinking.
oh,
I'm a boat that's sinking. And guess
that
who's the sea?
metaphor is just like, did he just attack me? Is this what did he just say?
Yeah.
Like,
what a goddamn poet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my favorite line,
I can already guess it.
blue and gold,
Yep.
Friday night, team up
Team
with
up with who?
Charlie. Take these kids for a
I
ride.
know- yeah.
Okay, so but I don't think that if this did you watch that interview? So this interviewer was there at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I saw
I don't
that.
think that we would have gotten that backstory from Joe. Like, he doesn't really like to explain the specific moments
He's classy.
that he
No.
was writing about. Like, so, but this interviewer just put it all out there. So Blue and Gold is a bar in New York.
Yeah.
And the guy who was doing the interview was at that bar, and Joe and Charlie and all the kids from Stranger Things walked in and were playing pool. And like, so if I were the interviewer, I would have been like nerding out about that too. Like, I was there the night that you're literally referencing in this song. Like,
This moment.
crazy.
And I love that, like, the interviewer tried to press him, and I have to give him props, Joe, just being like, no, I'm not going to specifically say what triggered that moment with the panic attack, but basically it reminded him of this certain relationship, and he reflected back on it, and here he is surrounded by these kids, and he's supposed to be having a good time, and you kind of get caught up in the moment, remembering a specific moment in
Yeah.
time. So, yeah, me and Megan are going to try to, visit there, the place where Joe Keery had a panic attack. We'll have a beer in your honor, Joe.
They're gonna name a beer or a drink after him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have
It'll
cocktails.
be called Delete Ya.
Delete
They
forget ya,
better.
delete ya.
See, remember to try and forget. Like, that's where I'm
Yes.
getting the forget part.
That's the theme.
I like it's hard to shake it off and get back to me. Like,
Mhm.
that's very Taylor Swift of him. Gotta shake it off.
That is. Yeah, he's going to shake it off. And the same hook is with the couch with now I'm back in my truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah.
oh, what a good beat. What a good
Yeah,
beat.
that part is so fun.
The part that was, I mean, it's all gut wrenching, but I like you kept it tight to your chest at someone else's expense. That doesn't sound like real love. I was like,
So
"Ooh."
that part leads into the
Yeah.
part where he is kind of like getting that, like, that anger is bubbling back up again.
Yes, that
Like,
frustration.
he's
That's like
very heartbroken and sad in this song, and like can't get it off of his mind. And I feel like we all can connect to that so much. But like, you also like that little bit of anger from Basic being basic is
just
like,
oh, let it out.
It's seeping through, the emotions, and it's realistic. You I mean, I'd like to say, at least I believe, that Joe is a gentleman, and to kind of tweak the fried green tomatoes quote, a gentleman always knows when to leave. So it's kind of realistic. If it was just like, oh no, it's fine, everything's good, we're good, I'm heartbroken, but it's good. I kind of like that there is a little bit of real raw emotion seeping through, because when being basic kicks up, you're like, okay, yep,
I got it.
I got it. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And how'd you cut it like that? I'm built different. I don't work like that.
Yeah, that bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse you. It's just, yeah, I feel like this song is just like, it's slowly gravitating towards like, he's just letting it all out.
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
like, had it. He's done. Like,
there is that climax all the way
Have you
up.
guys seen the edit of the people from Severance like dancing, and they've set it to Delete Ya?
yeah.
And it works so. I've never seen the show, but it works so
Yeah.
well, and that's kind of all I think of now.
What is it? The music dance experience or something? Like, that's what they
Yeah,
call
I'm
it
like,
in the show.
I'm like, this works.
You got to
so
watch
well.
it.
Yeah.
Stace.
I know. I got to get into it.
I'm like halfway through the second season now, so it just ended, but I'm like behind because I just started watching it a couple weeks ago.
But then like that final ending too with wish I could release ya, wind it back, never be with ya. I'd be happy just to meet ya. It's just like, I wish this never happened. I'd be happy just to meet you as strangers and go our separate ways. Like, I'm like,
Right. Because it would
wow.
almost be easier. Like I get that.
Yeah.
Like there's like
Oh,
times where it's
100%.
like you have so much feeling and so much like angst and like heartbreak about something that it's like, was the good part even worth going
All
through
of this.
to like have all of this feeling that I have to go
Yeah.
through? Like,
My last deep cut in the epic movie what is it, 500 Days of Summer. I always love
that's
the
such a
scene where
sad
the
movie.
right? Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
So good.
But I just remember the sister going, maybe the reason why you're so heartbroken is you're only focusing on the good memories, you know? And then he starts thinking back and he's like, ooh, I had a completely different point of view. It wasn't complete paradise this entire time.
Yeah.
So definitely like this song reminds me of that movie as well, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good
100%.
point, because I feel like a lot of times people say like, oh, just focus on the good that's happening to you, but like if something ends, it's like you can't get stuck on all of the good stuff. There were bad things about it too, so it's like
Yeah.
it's probably better that it's over. Like, so yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow though. So
Oh, yeah.
Like a jagged little pill.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alanis
And then-
Morissette, deep cut. You're like, shut up.
I love
Stacey."
it. Ah,
And then just the final line of just like, yeah, we're done.
but this is done.
Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is done. If we were young, but like, nope. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. He's washing his hands going, overdone with gone.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, I wish there was like the fly on the wall just seeing me listen to that. I'm like, I need to process that. It's just like, yeah. And I
Yeah.
love that he makes us feel that way, because it's like everyone's gone through something like this, whether it be like an actual relationship, a friendship, a parent relationship. We've all gone through something like this.
Yes.
And it's hard. And
Yep.
it's like, this was very real and raw and deep cut. And I appreciate that so much in a songwriter. I'm like, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, and I think he's talked about a little bit that he's just like trying to, in his words, write better songs. I think all of his songs are great.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
let's like not discredit all of the songs that
Hello.
you have written that we love, but like the lyrics are a little bit more snappy.
Yeah, it's
like
so different.
it's like
Yeah.
not those long, like kind of like sometimes convoluted stream of consciousness type like songs. Like there are
Ugly fisherman.
no lyrics.
Come on, guys. Somebody needs to put in the Google form ugly fisherman.
Stacey's
She wants
chomping
to
at the bit to talk about that
Yep.
one.
I want to just talk about the entire lyric, instrumental song.
It is a good song, but like
It
you don't
is.
have to have lyrics. But yeah, it's very snappy and very like powerful lyrics, I
Yeah.
think. And they're a little bit more straightforward. There's not as much like
Yeah.
hidden meaning in them. Like you can pretty much figure out what he's talking about.
Oh,
So
100%.
yeah. I wonder, this is track 5 on the album.
Okay.
So it's almost halfway through the album. And I know he's also said that like the album starts off as a breakup album, but then it kind of like goes into something else. And like, this is done? Like, okay, we're done talking about the breakup. Let's move on and talk about other things. So
He's telling stories,
yeah,
man.
that's my theory. So I'm wondering what egg is. Like a new beginning, right? Like an egg is a beginning.
Actually, yeah, like a chicken,
Yeah.
like a chicken hatching.
Stacey is not allowed to repeat what she just
No.
said while we
No.
were now
I'm being
recording.
censored, so I
But
might have had a physical reaction to this song if I could,
ah, it's a
Gosh.
good one. It's a really good one.
Now, I might be just like jumping the gun, but I would like to think that basically this song is about you're in a relationship, either romantic or friendship, and you're kind of like the funny one. You're the one that brings the lightheartedness, the jokes, keep things light, keep things loose and easy. And he's kind of saying like he doesn't mind doing that. That's kind of the vibe I got.
I think it's also about, or could be about, just being an actor and like
performing.
being a
Yeah.
performer and just like, you know, being told what to do all of the time and like
Yes.
just having to, you know, be whatever they want you to be kind of thing.
Yeah, like basically Hollywood is the little kid from Wedding Crashers, and he's Vince Vaughn. He's going, make me my bicycle clown. So
Mhm. That's kind of what
Boom.
I wrote too. I wrote the themes of self-sacrifice, performance, identity, and then validation, and you're wearing this mask for others. So
Yeah.
pretty much right where you guys said.
Not really
Yeah.
being able to like be your true authentic self.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that line though, I chose it for me anyway, is like very telling. Like he's like, I can't really complain about this because I
is what I wanted.
chose this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's definitely relatable. Like when you're in a situation in your life and it's like you made the decisions to put yourself in that situation and
Yeah.
you are getting something good out of it, like if it's your job or something like that, but like, or your relationship, but like, so you can't really complain, but there is sometimes still things that might not be great about it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of wrote
Dance
wrote
monkey
that
dance.
too. I'm like, in that line, they convince themselves that like this is their purpose. Like, yeah, like we're just little delusional over here, but yeah,
Yeah.
kind of got
Yep. Coconut fantasy. Yep.
that. Mm-hmm.
I'm not busy. This is what I was prepping for. World King me.
Oh, I like that line. That was a good line.
I'm
That
a
was a
jester
juicy line.
and I'm yours.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the whisper part, everyone?
The best part of any song.
I mean, I've seen that done live now a few times.
If
Not
anyone
personally, but
talks during that
videos.
at my
Oh
show,
my God,
I'm
no.
I'll be like, please do that again. Please do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
It's gonna
slap someone.
everybody's gonna have to be real quiet, okay? Like
Yeah.
we're preparing
this
you.
is This is what I like of him as a performer, and I know we've talked about it before with Queen. You know, Freddie basically said with We Will Rock You, he was like, I want to do this song because I want the audience to be part of it. With Gap Tooth Smile, the counting.
Yeah.
You know, and this where everybody like gets quiet. Like, yeah, you know exactly what you're doing, Mr. K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
line, I think I'm going to write on one of my posters. I think I have, like, I'll be your fool. That's what I'm going to write. And then I want to write whisper fool to me. You will not hear
Girl.
ever again. I will literally
Girl.
like have him just like eye you and just kind of be in front of you and like whisper fool. I think my phone would break.
Yeah. No.
I hope
And
you capture that exact moment.
Please put that on.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll
manifesting
be like,
that for you.
okay.
Yeah.
Put that on my headstone. She died by
Yeah.
Joe.
Whispering.
Joe whispering fool.
Joe ASMR.
Well,
Literally.
and we didn't talk about the very first line, which is pretty powerful too, because it's like, that's not right. There's a person behind those eyes. When it's like, and
I'm human.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a social, like on social media too. Like people have like
You're the same.
these like very, like these expectations of you. And like, if you're not exactly the way that they expect you to be, they're like, oh, well, what are you doing? Like, and it's like, you're a human being. This person is a human being. We're all human beings. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not just like these like entities. Like, I don't know.
And before he deleted his, Uncle Jesse, thing, it was him constantly doing little bits and stuff. They felt like Vines almost,
Yeah.
just the funny guy, But then you start noticing in some interviews where people just keep referring to him as the mom of the group, the babysitter, talking about his hair. You can tell it's wearing thin. And like, one thing I've always respected is Paris Hilton. That's an entire bit. And I love that she's actually talked in her real voice before, and she's been putting on this character for the last like 15, 20 years. And one time she talked in her actual voice and she was like, oh no, I knew that this would sell, that this was a bit, this is a character I'm playing. And look, it's brought me success and fame. So a lot of what you see on social media, people, it's not the real them. They're putting on bits, they're putting on characters.
They're
so
putting
he's more
on
than
this show
the stranger.
for you, like
Exactly.
because it's entertainment and it's fulfilling in some ways, but
Mhm.
like you are a person. Like
That's why, like, I know I've said it multiple times. His movie choices and his like TV choices have been very, very smart. Spree, Fargo. He's been doing polar opposite of Steve Harrington because he's showing, oh no, I have range.
Yeah.
I'm not just the cute guy with the hair. You know.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to the rest.
I felt like it's a cycle that never ends. Like it's just that whole bit like I'll be your fool. I'll perform for you. Just like literally tell me what to do at this point, like whatever.
Yeah.
I wrote tragic. It's like embracing kind of like, okay, you've kind of put this label on me in a way of who you expect me to be. So sure, I'll just keep doing it for you. Fine.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And how it repeats like that. It's very cool. But this song like is one of those songs that has so many like cool sound things going on too. Like
Little
and
gags.
he's like throwing his voice in different ways and like making these like kind of like the like this character, like you said, like that's like kind of I don't know, just like it's sometimes it's like very like groovy too. And like this is where we were talking on our last episode where he sounds a little Justin Timberlake, I think, like that falsetto and like it's just very cool and very sexy and like very similar to I Want Your Video in some ways, and especially this end part. So it's cool. Oh, I keep referencing these like old interviews, but he also, there was this podcast that was like, they re-released it last year, but it was originally a conversation that he had during the pandemic, and it was an Instagram Live or something, and he was talking to one of the guys from the Flaming Lips, and it was so funny because it was before Decide. It was like after the album 2020 came out, and it was actually I think right around the time that Keep Your Head Up came out, which is what we were talking about last week.
Banger.
But the guy, I'm terrible, I don't know what his name was talking about this, and he literally was like referencing like being like the full like that like kind of like persona in like acting and music and stuff. And I was like, oh, I wonder if Joe was like inspired by this conversation like to write this song. So that was kind of random too. So everybody should, listen to those old interviews. They're really cool.
They're fun.
Yeah, there's some really great interviews where he's just relaxed and you can tell he's just vibing and wanting to talk about music.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that he has great knowledge of, just talking about old albums and stuff. Like, sounds like he'd be a lot of fun to just geek out about music.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally.
So
he like just perks up so much. I mean, like even at the convention, like when Stranger Things stuff was brought up, yeah, he loves talking about that. But like any second, like you bring up music, he's like, oh, I could sit here and talk to you all day about it. And like, yes. Like, yeah, I love that about him.
You are going to get to see this performed very soon. We're so excited for you. And we are super grateful that you came on to chat with us.
Always a blast.
Yeah.
Love
always
it.
So much fun.
Do this all
We're
the
not
time.
tired of each other
We'll be back
yet.
for more stuff that we can't
Yes.
talk
Right?
out yet. But yeah.
Miss Hannah, where can we find you on the socials?
You can find me on TikTok. I mean, yeah.
I think everybody knows, but
Listen, I'm sticking to the goddamn script.
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at official Hannah Sarah. So yeah.
yeah, Follow
Check it
those
out.
tour
Sick.
updates.
I know.
Yeah.
All the things, Joe merch. That's been so fun to make.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
best. Huge shout out to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful poster that you sent us.
Thank you.
Yes.
It is in the I call it the shrine that makes it look like Joe like died in a terrible accident. Like I got twinkle lights around it now. It's
Oh, no.
pretty bad.
He ever comes over.
He's not allowed in Stacy's house.
Oh no. Literally somebody told me, they were like, when I eventually sell my house, they were like, you don't want to end up on Zillow Gone Wild. And I go, I will clear that living room out as though Joe is coming over for charcuterie board.
Yeah.
Trust me, all weird evidence will be gone.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
Jeez.
No,
yeah.
but we both also got your shirt with like the Polaroids.
Oh,
Yes,
I can't
we
wait to
love
wear
it.
that.
It's
Yeah.
so fun. All right. Well, I'm sure we'll be, like you said, back again soon to chat with you. And
So excited.
of course, I think that's it. So we're so bad at this.
Our
I think,
outros are real shit.
I feel like they just get worse and worse.
Bye.
I've been saying peace.
Check you later.